Welcome to Being Humans. We're better together. I'm Ian Christopher Wendt. Know your people. As I make these videos, I'm constantly aware of my shortcomings. I'm also increasingly impressed at the quality and creativity of other content creators' work. But this group of episodes on valuing relational knowledge has me feeling even more self-conscious. Relationships are hard for everyone. Some people are very good at relationships because they work at them and strengthen them constantly. The people I know who are best at relationships are women. I try very hard to value the people I know and the people who know and care about me, but I don't claim to be great at relationships. Even the people I know who are very good at relationships struggle with very difficult relationship challenges, particularly with some of their family members. In this set of episodes, I'm trying to be honest and authentic, to emphasize core principles, to recognize and address challenges, to help us change our paradigms and refocus on principles that will bring us closer together, and to experience more joy, love, and meaning together. I'm trying to touch on and communicate about things that matter and apply to almost everyone, but without being obvious or overly simplistic. Most of these principles I describe in these episodes, I either learned the hard way by experiencing relationships that diminished or even ended because I valued the wrong things over family and close friendships, or I learned them from the examples of wiser people than I am. At the end of each episode, we invite you to follow up on whatever you experience or take away from each message by connecting meaningfully with your family and friends. We really mean that. It's the core of our mission, to help you experience life more fully with your people and your communities. You can judge how successful I am in this first foray into these challenging relational topics. Please extend some grace to us as we try our best. Who or which relationships should we focus our time and energy on? First, it begins with a stable, healthy self. It's hard to form and maintain healthy relationships if we aren't stable and healthy ourselves. Healthy physical, emotional, and social habits and practices are important for each of us. It's also important that the people we share close relationships with also be healthy and stable. Here are a few key character traits that individual and relational stability are founded on: taking care of our bodies and minds, honesty, hard work, responsibility, reciprocity or give and take, trust and fidelity, kindness. But being a whole individual is also founded on healthy relationships. We aren't sane alone. Our friends aren't sane alone either. Our close friends and family know us, support us, and help us fill in our gaps, and we do the same for them. We play different roles, so that we don't each need to be good at everything and pay attention to every aspect of life. Now let's explore circles of relations to help us intentionally and wisely choose the relationships that matter most. We'll conclude by exploring contextual friendships and contacts and how understanding this principle will help us value, improve, and maintain long-term relationships. Know your people. Circles of relations. These circles are sometimes named after British anthropologist Robin Dunbar, who developed a theory suggesting that the brain can only maintain a limited number of social relationships. So they're sometimes also called Dunbar circles. The first is core relationships, intimate relationships, loved ones, usually 3 to 10 people. These include our intimate partner, best friends, parents, children, close siblings, people you see and make contact with daily, people you work together with, people you have close relationships with. The next circle are good friends and family, usually somewhere between 10 and 25 people. These would be grown siblings, nieces and nephews, grandparents, grandchildren, close friends, old friends, friends who have transcended the original place where we met them and come into the center of our lives. These good friends and family are people we come in contact with meaningfully and regularly. The next group are friends and extended family, usually somewhere between 30 and 70 people. People with whom we share meaningful communities, experiences we resonate together with, family that we have periodic gatherings with, people with whom we exchange gifts and hospitality, people we contact periodically on special occasions. Next, we have other community members. These are also meaningful contacts, usually somewhere between 100 and 250 people. For most of us, the number is pretty close to 150. These include coworkers, classmates, people who belong to our communities, contextual relationships, people in our classes, at work, former friends that we no longer share close experiences with, but still keep in touch with. Finally, we have other contacts and acquaintances. This can be somewhere between 300 and 700 people. These are people with shared interests but limited interaction. Formerly meaningful contacts whose contextual connection with us has lapsed. People from your old congregation, or from your high school, or from your last job. Finally, in the furthest circle, there are people we recognize. This is more than 1,000 people. Let's assess who our people are. Consider. You may even want to write down your core circles of relationships. Sort them into your circles of relations. Consider your most meaningful experiences, communities, and forms of resonance. What do you most love to do? What are the activities that you do daily? What are the things that you really look forward to doing? And who are the people that you do those things with? Who are the people in your family? Parents, children, siblings, extended family. How do you interact with them? What activities, experiences, and kinds of emotional resonance do you share? How much and how often do you interact meaningfully with your family members? Do you want to change that? Do you want to increase it? Who are your friends? Close friends, coworkers, classmates, people in shared interest groups, community members. In what contexts do you spend time with them? Who do you share intimate home, hearth, hospitality with? Those are your true close friends. What do you most enjoy doing? Who do you do those things with? What do you spend the most time and energy doing? Who do you do those things with? Probably work, studies, other kinds of things that take a great deal of your time. Those relationships matter. Who is important to you that may have fallen out of your regular set of activities and your schedule? Can you find a way to bring them back? Next, let's consider the quality of each of our relationships and our relational knowledge that we share with them. Who do you know best? Who knows you the most deeply? Sometimes those are people that we're no longer very close to. Let's do something about that soon, now, to maintain those relationships, to strengthen them, to reconnect with them. Who do you love or care for? Who loves and cares for you the most? Who do you share your emotions or inner thoughts with? Who shares theirs with you? If you're a man, that number of people may be really small, but it doesn't have to be. We can share with people. Who do you process, discuss, and share our important experiences with? Who shares their experiences with you? How much time do you spend with each of your people? What kinds of experiences do you share with them? How do you resonate together? Do you laugh together? Do you compete together? Do you spar back and forth verbally? Do you tease each other? What is the balance of positive and negative emotions between you and each of your people? Negative emotion does not disqualify a relationship. Close relationships involve disagreements, conflicts, and growth. Who can you ask for help if you're hurting, in trouble, in crisis? Who are the important members of your communities? With whom do you share core values and high principles? Who understands your beliefs and who you are? Which relationships transcend the original context in which they were formed? Who do you invite into your personal spaces? Who do you eat with, share hospitality with, exchange gifts with, exchange service with? Who can you trust? Who do you most admire? Who do you most want to emulate? Who do you nurture? Who nurtures you? Who do you depend on? Who depends on you? Next, let's consider various shared experiences and resonance. What are the experiences, activities, and contexts that shape your life? Which experiences, activities, and contexts are the most meaningful to you? What are your preferred forms of resonance with other people? Touch, conversation, laughter, celebration, cheering, crying, sports, competition, work, cooperation, nurturing, service, worship? With which people do you share these meaningful experiences or forms of resonance? Those people belong in your inner circles. Maybe you could expand some of those experiences and enrich them by inviting the people who are most important to you to participate in them, to share those experiences with them. This is not about numbers or status. This process is not primarily about how many relationships you have. Having more is not necessarily better. There are absolute limits to your time, energy, resources, and mental and emotional space. It's likely that when you experience a significant change in your life, moving, changing jobs, shifting to new communities, that your circles of relations also change. It's likely that if you add significant people to one of your inner circles, that you may well lessen close contact with other people in those circles. Some people may be important to you because they have high status, economic importance, power, or influence in your communities or professional spaces. Consider the degree to which such people reciprocate your relationship. Value the people who share meaningful relational knowledge with you, rather than the people who have high status and may never give anything back to you. Now, let's consider some common relational mistakes. I bring these up because I've made many of them. Among the most crucial mistakes people make is to misjudge the nature of our relationships. We mistake contextual friendships for long-lasting relationships. We prioritize the wrong relationships and contextual friendships over family. We establish intimate relationships with the wrong people. We trust the wrong people. We are unfaithful to friends, or friends are unfaithful to us. We misunderstand the nature of relationships or the contexts in which we are interacting. Corporations are not communities. Coworkers are often not actually our friend. We undervalue relationships. We think relationships can be easily made and replaced, and therefore we discard important relationships. We undervalue family in particular. We let go of people we should maintain contact with. We allow relationships to become dormant and stop sharing experiences and resonating together. We think social media can replace in real life human resonance. We consistently value status, wealth, possessions, power, success, pleasure more than our relationships. Lastly, we need to discuss contextual relationships. I've brought up this term several times already in this episode, contextual relationships. Most relationships have particular contexts. Work, school, sports teams, corporations, even churches, clubs, where they were originally formed and where we interact. That context often shapes the purpose, roles, and meaning of the relationship. Institutions and communities can and often do assign purposes and roles in these situations. It's important to recognize contexts. Transgressing the bounds of a context can be disruptive and painful. Contextual relationships almost always lapse when the people that we're connected to shift into another context or we move into another context. When we change jobs, when we change classes, when we move from one grade to another, when we change schools, when we move, when we change neighborhoods. I'm sure we've all had the experience of moving from one grade to the next, having a new group of students in our classroom, and then after a few weeks or months realizing that the best friend we had last year isn't really our friend anymore, that they moved on, they've changed, that they've made new friends in their new classrooms. Corporations and institutions do not value relationships and communities. We've already discussed this. In fact, they commonly move entire families, breaking many of their communities and relations in the name of advancement for the institution. Churches and other institutions also sometimes reorganize congregations, groups, and communities frequently. This is about the supremacy of the institution, the corporation, rather than the importance of relationship. You may spend a lot of time and develop close interactions with contextual relationships. If you want a contextual relationship to survive the change of contexts, and contexts do change, you need to take that relationship beyond its original context. The relationship needs to transcend its original context. The easiest way to do this is to bring it into your home, to share food and drink together, to exchange gifts, to celebrate together, to bring them to your birthday party, to take them outside of work, outside of the congregation, outside of the institution, and into your core circle. Resonate with them in ways that transcend the original context. Join a community together. Invite them to join your community. When we understand our circles of relationships, when we understand who our intimate circle are, who our close friends and family are, who our extended friends and family are, which people are simply contacts or acquaintances, or people that we know in a certain context, but we want to bring into our core circle. When we understand these things, we will better understand the nature of our circle of relations. We'll better understand who we are. We'll also better understand how to connect with them more meaningfully, how to share our core experiences together, and perhaps to understand that it's important to reach back to the people that we have shared important life experiences with in our youth, in our families of origin, in our core circles that maybe we are letting lapse because we become too focused on profession, on career, on education, because we've moved away, even if only for a short time. Take the time to maintain those long-term relationships. If we don't, they do dwindle. They do lapse. Eventually, we find that the people with whom we shared some of our most important, formative, special relationships are now just people that we see on social media, people we have history with, but no present experience with. It doesn't need to be that way. I encourage you to reach out to your people, to take the time to share with them, share the things that matter, to take the time to do it in real life, to invite them into your home, to share food and drink with them, to reach out to them and see if we can help them, even to humble ourselves and reach out for help when we need it. Too often, we have the idea that the state or institutions ought to take care of us, that we should be independent. This leads us to isolation. Lean on our people. Let them serve us. Serve them back. Join communities together. And please feel free to participate in our community. Like, subscribe, share, comment, support. Amen, amen. This is the way of being humans together.